morning everyone. So today we are going to talk about Gestalt Psychology. So what is Gestalt Psychology first? So Gestalt Psychology is a movement in psychology founded in Germany 1912, seeking to explain perception in terms of gestalts rather than by analyzing their constituents. It is a psychology founded in the 20th century that provided the foundation for the modern study of the perception. Gestalt emphasizes that the whole of the anything is greater than its parts. That is, the attributes of the whole are not deducible from analysis of the parts in isolation. Gestalt psychology is a German word. It means form or configuration. Form means bumuo, buo, and configuration is arrangement or combination. The focus of this study is about grouping, means pagsama-sama or pagbuo o di kaya ay maraming tao na magkakasama. Later on, they proposed the principles or laws for perceptual organization. There are 6 laws, and number 1 is the good form, figure and ground, similarity, proximity, closure, and then continuity. But before that, let me first introduce the developer of Gestalt theory. So, the first one is Wolfgang Kohler. He was born January 21, 1887 and died June 11, 1967 at the age of 80. He is a German psychologist and phenomenologist. Next one is Max Wertheimer. He was born on April 15, 1880 and then died October 12, 1943 at the age of 60. He is an Austro-Hungarian astronomist. And the last one is Kurt Kofka. He was born March 17, 1886 and died at November 12, 1944 at the age of 55. He is a German psychology and a professor. Babalikan natin ang discovery ni Jean Piaget na sinasabi niya na nakita niya mismo na children are active learner, hindi sila passive. So, learners do not just collect information but they actively process and restructure data in order to understand it. So, yung sinasabi na process and restructure data is yung nangyayari tuwing nagtatanong ang mga bata. 'Di ba, ang mga bata, ma-describe natin sila as madaming tanong. So, halimbawa, may nakita silang dolphin or kind of fish, basta kahit anong klaseng isda. Magtatanong agad sila kung anong isda ito, and may follow-up question agad sila. Kadalasan hindi sila nauubusan ng tanong. So, let's go back to the proposed principles or laws for perceptual organization. Number 1 is the law of good form or fragrance. Gestalt psychologists were of the view that psychological organization will always be as good as prevailing conditions allow. For Gestalt psychology, form is the primitive unit of perception. So, ibig sabihin, inaalaw ang learner na makabuo pa ng ibang good form sa simpleng imahe na nakikita sa paligid. So, halimbawa, isang payak na polka dotted dress ang suot ng isa sa iyong mga kaklase. Dahil sa distance at pagkakaayos ng dot sa damit niya, nakakabuo ka ng iba pang imahe tulad ng stars o bulaklak, which is considered as a good form. Ang image na ito ay isang example ng the law of good form. Kung ating titingnan ito ng malapitan ay makikita natin ang isang babae na nagbabasa habang nakaupo. Pero kung ating itong titingnan ng malayuan at dumistansya tayo, makikita natin ang isang mukha ng lalaki. So, next one is the law of figure. This refers to our tendency to pick out form from a background. So, dito naman, na-include natin ang background as part of the image. Halimbawa, sa given, may dalawang kulay lang, ang black at ang white. Ang white lang ang ating focus dapat. dahil yun ang kulay ng figure, pero naiko-consider natin ang background na black at nakabuo pa tayo ng isang image.
Dito naman sa next image, example ito ng figure ground perception. Perceive images into figure and ground. So, kung tayo ay nakafocus lang dito sa mga bagay, talagang bagay lang yung makikita natin. Pero kung tayo mag-focus dun sa background, magkaka-form tayo ng mga tao.
Sa figure and ground din, nagkakaroon ng ambiguity o pagkalito sa figure ground dahil nagkakaroon ng dalawang imahe with equal importance. Ang isa focus sa figure at ang isa focus sa background. The next one is the law of proximity. Things which are close together in space or time tend to be perceived as a group together. Thus, if you want your audience to associate their product with their presenter, put them close together if you know them to perceive two ideas as associated, present them in close proximity. So, proximity means lapit or pagiging malapit ng bagay sa isa pang bagay. Ang perception natin, kapag ang isang imahe ay malapit sa iba pang imahe, pinakakahulugan nitong sila ay magkasama or magkakagrupo.
Hi, my name is Jaffer Calasiti Makatubal, a third-year college at Von State University Calatrava campus, taking up Bachelor in Elementary Education. And today, I'm going to continue the principles or law of perceptual organization. So let's start in the law of similarity. Similarity is also known as invariance or magkapare-pareho. The human eye tends to reveal a relationship between similar elements within the design. So as you can see in the graphic labeled A, on the left, you probably seen an X or pear trees against a background of the others. So in the graphic labeled B, on the right side, you may see a square of the other trees partly surrounded by fir trees. So, dito pa lang sa picture na ito, makikita natin yung similarities ng pictures. Yung kabila ay meron siyang shape of X, and dito naman sa label B, meron siyang square. In this case, makakabuo tayo ng isang bagay using the basic elements katulad ng hugis, kulay, at sukat. Dahil dito, madaling marirecognize natin ang isang bagay dahil sa kanilang pagkapare-pareho. Ito din mas lalong maintindihan or maunawaan natin ng maayos ang pagkakaiba-iba o pagkakatulad ng isang bagay. And that is law of similarity. Next, we have law of closure. Closure explain why elements can be recognized even if they are incomplete or non-existent. Our eye fill in the missing information para makabuo ng isang hugis o bagay. Ang purpose ng law of closure ay makabuo tayo sa ating mga isipan ng isang bagay or imahe kahit ito ay may kulang sa isang larawan. Dahil dito makakakuha tayo ng sapat na information upang mas lalong palawakin pa ang ating kaisipan sa mga bagay na kulang. So when these elements are separated but your mind begins to perceive them as a single representation, you are experiencing closure. So next we have the law of continuity. This is the principle of teaching na kung saan ang magkaibang elemento ng ideya ay may isang concept or konsepto. These concepts are part of something and these are interconnected. Bawat ideya ay maaaring ma-relate sa isa pang konsepto upang mas makabuo ng iisang buong konsepto. The law of continuity ay isang psychology principle na kung saan pinag-iisa nito ang pagkakaibang elemento sa isang linear part or a straight line. Moreover, Gestalt of continuity explains that our brain experience visual lines of group items and understanding how people perceive a pattern instead of a separated parts. Ayon din sa Gestalt Psychology, ang perceptual organization or yung organized na idea o mga elemento ay mas epektibong paraan sa pag-aaral. So let's always remember that Gestalt principles are very important, especially for teachers in understanding how learners make sense out of their visual environment and act on what they perceive. Dahil dito, madali nilang maunawaan o mabigyang kahulugan ang isang bagay sa tulong ng visual environment or sa hugis or kilos. So that is the principles or law of perceptual organization. So let's have focus in figure ground problems reflected in school works. So maraming mga halimbawa na naglalarawan kung paanong ang mga mag-aaral ay nahihirapang matuto. So, number 1, we have
the pupil loses his or her place when copying from the blackboard or textbook.
So, ang mga students ay parang nahihirapan sila na wala sila sa kanilang upuan habang sila ay nagsusulat. So, in that case, parang nadidistract sila or hindi sila makafocus sa kanilang isinusulat habang wala sila sa kanilang upuan.
Number 2. The pupil experiences difficulty keeping his or her place in reading or number work.
Dito naman nakakaranas ang mga mag-aaral kung paano nila maiingatan ang kanilang place or lugar habang sila ay may ginagawa o habang sila may mga gawain.
Number 3. Skip sections when working through an exercise. Number 4. Unable to find objects that are sometimes right under his or her nose. Number 5. Difficulty looking up words in a dictionary or places on a map. Number 6. Difficulty picking out things in a complex picture. Number 7. Pupils have difficulty in solving mazes and drawing a straight line between two boundaries or scanning ability skips lines when reading and unable to move smoothly from one word to the next. Number 8. Pupils are unable to attend to individual words on an overcrowded page or diagrams. Number 9. Pupils have difficulty in understanding detailed pictures. Number 10. Pupils do not see plus amongst when presented on the same page mixed computations. And lastly we have, pupils are distractible and disorganized attention jumps to any activity.
So yan yung mga problems kung bakit nahihirapang makasabay o gawin ng mga students yung kanilang mga gawain sa school. However, teachers can also help in improving the effectiveness of learning in their students. So maaring sa pagsulat sa blackboard ay gumamit tayo ng mga makukulay na chalk upang mas lalong makita nila or ma-identify nila agad yung mga mahalagang bagay. So the students will be easy to identify the objects kung gugamit tayo ng mga color o may mga kulay na chalks. So in that case, mas lalo pa nating mapapaunlad o mapapalawak ang kanilang kaisipan in terms of identifying the object. So that's all in Gestalt Psychology. I hope that you have learned more a lot in this lesson. Thank you so much.
Papatanong tayo, how to apply Gestalt Psychology in learning. By using critical thinking and having problem-solving skills, prove that Gestalt Psychology is being applied in learning. Halimbawa, sa isang klase, iba-iba ang talent and skills. Pero pag pinagsama-sama, mas magkakaroon ng magandang resulta. Kaya sa bawat activity, pansinin nyo lagi na laging may groupings. And that's what we call Gestalt Psychology. And again, this is the report of Jeffrey Matkatubal and Shubi Falkulan. Thank you for watching.